Hello and welcome back to the unofficial Black Lamb and Gray Falcon audiobook companion. I am your travel guide, James Snyder. In this episodic interlude, we will look at the Stari Most, the Ottoman footbridge in Mostar, most often featured on the cover of the bound edition of Black Lamb and Gray Falcon. The cover of nearly every edition of Black Lamb and Gray Falcon prominently features the same extraordinary architectural, cultural, and pontine monument found in Mostar, Herzegovina. Rebecca West called it one of the most beautiful bridges in the world. That is certainly high praise, but with more travel, I think she would be less categorical. Elegant in its simplicity, its centrality on the Neretva River, dramatically emphasized by its towering height over the deep and narrow culvert and its rustic setting, all contribute to the aesthetic effect of the bridge. It is virtually impossible to take a bad picture of the Stari Most, meaning Old Bridge, and it is hard to imagine the city without its signature span. Although the words Mostar and Stari Most are clearly related, they do not mean the same thing. Mostar is derived from Mostari, meaning bridge keeper. It may have been this bridge on the cover, more than anything else, that drew my attention to the book initially, and eventually to the tortured history of Yugoslavia. It appeared to me ancient, alien, and alluring, staggeringly beautiful, unreachable. It was a goal for years to see it and stand on it myself. Stari Most is a pedestrian bridge in both senses of the word. It simply joins the two sides of the city, straddling the Neretva, and was designed for foot traffic. Walking it can be a challenge, especially if you are, like me, prone to vertigo. I had the same heart-pounding experience walking the Stari Most as I have driving the high, narrow Chesapeake Bay Bridge in Maryland. The Stari Most deck itself is graded at a steep 10 degrees, cobbled and ribbed. The walk feels precarious. At 6'4", my center of gravity towers over the low parapet, but it is worth the experience. More daring souls simply dive from the crown into the blue water below. The bridge's signature feature, what accentuates its height, position, and weightless feeling, is also its central structural element, the pointed arch. On first glance, the arch may appear to be a true semicircle, a commonplace of Roman architecture. It is created, in fact, by the superimposition of a smaller circle at the top of the arc of a larger circle. As a result, the deviation of the curve from a true circle is extremely subtle. While a familiar architectural feature today, the pointed arch, sometimes called an ogive arch, is an Islamic engineering innovation first exhibited at Qusayr Amra in present-day Jordan in the early 8th century and most famously known from the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. The pointed arch distributes load more efficiently and allows for the construction of tall, lightweight, open structures. Although the precise means and time of transmission are unclear, there is no doubt that the European Gothic arch, the hallmark of medieval Christian engineering, is derived directly from the pointed arch of Islamic provenance. As unique as the Stari Most is, its basic elements are common throughout the former Ottoman lands. While visiting Sarajevo in 2010, I walked to the Goats Bridge upriver on the Miljacka, simple, utilitarian, and sturdy. The Mehmet Pasha Sokolović Bridge in Visegrad, Bosnia, arguably more famous than the Stari Most as the centerpiece of Ivo Andrić's Nobel Prize-winning novel The Bridge on the Drina, exhibits the same feature over 10 arches. The history of the Stari Most is straightforward. Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent commissioned the bridge, attributed to Mimar Hayruddin in 1557. Replacing a wooden span, it was completed by 1567. Legend has it, Hayruddin was so apprehensive of the arch's structural integrity that he planned his own funeral in advance of what he feared would be a complete collapse of the span. Happily, it did not, and there it remained, a lovely architectural jewel to be encountered by adventurers from Evliya Çelebi and Joseph Hammer to Rebecca West. During the wars of succession of the former Yugoslavia, Mostar became the battleground of two consecutive conflicts: the Croat-Bosnian War against Serb-dominated Federal Yugoslavia, and, following Croat gains from that battle, the siege of Mostar by Croatian national forces and local irregulars. As a symbol that physically linked the Catholic Croatian right bank to the Muslim Bosnian left bank of the Neretva, the bridge became a primary target for Croatian gunners on November 8, 1993. The bridge proved itself as strong as it is graceful by taking more than 60 artillery rounds before collapsing 3 days later. There is some satisfaction, to me at least, that something that looks so light and delicate withstood such cruel pounding as long as it did. The war between Croatia and Bosnia ended with a ceasefire in 1994. Yugoslavia broke up into sovereign constituent republics, and plans were immediately made to rebuild the bridge. A multinational coalition raised the money and recovered original building materials from the riverbed for reconstruction that started in 2001. The new bridge was inaugurated on July 24, 2004.